Again, sadly enough, I don't want to talk so much about death. But obviously, the truth is there is no death, right? There is no death. It is only for us because we don't know the secret of life. So, for us, when you sit up and you watch television and you eat cornflakes and you're alive, but when God is fixing your body for a certain while, and God wants you to be somewhere under the ground because God is fixing your soul and your body, it takes a little while. When Mashiach is coming, you'll be fixed. Then we call this death, which really isn't so. It's fixing. Time of fixing. But I want to tell you something very deep. Can you imagine on what level did the people who carried the coffin of Yosef, on what level did they carry the coffin of Yosef? Did they feel that Yosef is dead, or did they feel Yosef is alive? Can you imagine how awesome it is to carry the bones, the body of Yosef HaTzadik, who was absolutely unsurpassed the holiest Jew in the world, right? Yosef HaTzadik? Who mamish absolutely never did anything wrong in his lifetime. And if any of us has 1 ounce of holiness in us, it's because Yosef paved the way, because he went down to Egypt and went through all the most unbelievable trials, because we have no idea. If you remember, the wife of Potiphar didn't come once. For the 12 years while he was in prison, she came 3 times a day. And he was all alone, and she promised him, the moment you just, one time a little bit, and I'll let you out. And according to nature, he had no way of ever getting out of prison. And Mamashi paved the way for all of Israel. If anybody will ever have a little strength, and being a little bit of Yidele, it's only from Yosef HaTzadik. So, on what level were they carrying Yosef HaTzadik? Awesome, right? It's crazy. Here we officially are defiled because we carry dead bones, and it's just, wow, you know? Can you imagine if you get close to the bones of Yosef HaTzadik, how holy you get? Right? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Let me tell you something. Imagine if you love somebody and they come to you and they tell you everything they did wrong. And they say, okay, I'm a dead body. I'm a dead soul. Carry me to the cemetery. How do you fix their soul? You say, listen, I'll arrange the funeral and everything will be taken care of. How do you fix them? You fix them by absolutely telling them, do you know how much alive you are? Unbelievable way. Just unbelievable way you are alive. So then they ask you back, listen, if I'm so much alive, how come suddenly you're defiled? How come you cannot go to the Holy Temple? So I say, okay, it's a good question. So basically, I want to share this with you. The first phase of the question is Manishtana, right? We're asking all kinds of deep questions about redemption. How to be holy, how to be a Yidele. The second phase, we ask the same question of God. If, according here, this one here. Okay. Kid L'chaim. I want to share something utmost, Just remind me to come back what I'm telling you. And I want to tell you something. You know what it means to come to the Holy Temple? When you purify yourself and you come to the Holy Temple? That doesn't mean, I leave your package outside and you come in. To come to the Holy Temple, to stand before God, that means, mamish, I'm taking all my packages with me. Imagine I have to see President Ford. Let's assume he's a king or something, I'm not coming there with all my furniture, right? Because I'm coming there, right? I'm not coming with a shopping bag. When you stand before God, unless you come with everything you have, you're not standing before God. Right? You left something outside. Now you want to sit here, friends? Come in. Yeah, sit up here. There's enough space here. Come. You know, I always tell my friends in a certain deep way. You know, Friday night, before we receive Shabbos, we turn around to look around. What are we looking for? We look around. Is anything I forgot, maybe? Because to be Shabbosdik, hello. Hey, brother. What's going on? To be Shabbosdik, you know, a lot of people want to say this. I leave all my packages outside, and I'll be a little bit Shabbosdik for a day. This is not real. Shabbos means I take everything I have and bring it into Shabbos. I think I taught some of you. When you go for a walk, you don't look around if you forgot something, because I don't take everything with me. When you move, you go back and look around, did I forget something, right? You see, you don't take a walk into Shabbos, you move into Shabbos. If you move into Shabbos, so before I really enter Shabbos, I turn around, I say, Boy B'Shalom, I turn around and I look. Did I forget something? No? Take it with me. Iris, come here, it's a good place here. Come here. Oh, you can sit here. Oh, sit next. Okay, sit next to the holy man. Go. Now listen to this, I want to share this with you. The first Pesach, in a very strange way, we don't have to bring anything impure with us. On the contrary, you purify yourself, you get rid of it. Pesach Sheini is that I'm taking all those questions that will come. I'm impure. I cared for somebody else. I wanted to fix somebody who's dead. Lo manigo, why is this happening? What am I doing? And this brings about the Pesach Sheini. And I don't have the words for it, but just want to share this with you. There are certain things, the fixing is forget it. You know? Have you ever seen a quetch, you know? Imagine someone comes and asks you for a loan $100. So you give it to them. So that's it, right? They say, no, do you know how I feel yesterday before I got this loan? Okay, I know it, but right now you have it. Then they say, can you imagine 1 hour before I met you how I felt? Okay, that's it, but now you have it, forget it, right? It's the same thing, you know? Sometimes I pray for something and God give it to me. The Lord says, okay, now you have it, please. Don't bother me about it anymore. That's it, you know? I have other things in my head. But there are certain things, if you forget it, then you don't feel it. Then you don't feel it. You don't even have it. I'll tell you something very deep. The difference between Mount Sinai and Yerushalayim is very simple. When we stand on Mount Sinai, God says, I took you out of Egypt. Forget it. I took you out of it. When God takes you out, you're mamish out of it, right? When you come to Yerushalayim, God doesn't take you out of nowhere. You're taking everything with you and you come to Yerushalayim. You got to take everything with you. Because the difference between Mount Sinai and Yerushalayim is that Mount Sinai is just one place. Yerushalayim, the Gemara says, someday the whole world will Asida Eretz Yisrael Shetispashel B'Ol Ha'arotzos. Asida Yerushalayim Shetispashel B'Ol Ha'olam. Yerushalayim, someday the whole world will have the holiness of Jerusalem. How will suddenly the whole world be Jerusalem? Because if I take everything from New York with me to Jerusalem, so then by reflexes, Jerusalem comes here, right? Let's say Yidal is in Alaska, and he makes it to Yerushalayim. So when he goes back to Alaska, he takes Yerushalayim with him, right? He has a highway, get back and forth. Okay, so I just want to tell you again, bear with me. Hope it'll connect later on. I feel it very strong. When it comes to all of Israel, then Mamish, God took me out of certain things. God took me out of paganism. God took me out of Egypt. That's it. I'm not a pagan anymore. I'm not a slave anymore. whenever it comes to my own personal thing, mamish, I'm walking around with it. My fixing is, not that God takes me out of it. Mamish, with all that I'm going through, and listen to this,